Okay, I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to cut out for you guys, but this has been something that has been close to me my entire life. When I was a little kid, I would make up spells with my girlfriend, and we would go pick flowers and herbs from her mom's garden, and we would take these wooden bowls from her mom's kitchen, and we would mash up the stuff in the bowls, and we would cast these spells, and we thought what we were doing was real. I shit you not. We thought we were genuinely changing the atmosphere. And in all reality, we probably were casting some shit that we had no idea we were doing, which is not really that funny because it's not something to mess with. I promise you guys, the craft is not something you should mess with at all. But my point is, we just felt so naturally in tune to that, and while other kids were like playing video games or something else, while we did play video games, my Nintendo's still sitting right here, we also were these strange little creatures in her mom's garden mashing up herbs and casting spells. And we thought we were genuinely doing stuff because we thought that it was cool. We thought it was cool to us. We thought that the idea of putting these herbs together and saying these words and casting these spells and making magic happen, we thought that that was one of the coolest things that could have ever happened to us. And we never really did anything. Nothing ever happened, but to us it was happening. In our heads it was happening. And so I never really let that go. I always kept a connection to witches. Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Hocus Pocus and Practical Magic and Bell Book and Candle. Those are all some of my favorite movies to this day. Favorite movies. And I would watch them over and over and over again. And Sabrina the Teenage Witch was on new episodes every Friday night, TGIF. And I was so excited to watch Sabrina go through her life and point her finger and cast some spells and make some magic happen. And I just wanted that so desperately. And I was never that familiar with any other religion. My mom was baptized, and my dad went to Catholic school but did not believe in God at all. So they were both just kind of like, you can do what you want, you can believe what you want, you can ask us what you want. But we weren't a church-going family, and we weren't a religious conversating kind of family. So, and I appreciated that because I never felt a connection to this God that everybody would talk about because I went to school with a lot of religious people. But I did feel connections to nature, and I did feel connections to animals. And I felt connections to very strange things, very paranormal, out of this world, other level, other spirits, other kind of stuff that other kids thought was weird. And to me, I thought, that's not weird, that's cool. Cool was always the word. I thought it was just cool. And the older that I got and the more questions that I got and the less answers that I was getting to my questions, the less concerned with religion that I was. And for a minute, I thought that I was an atheist, and then I learned more, and then I learned I think I'm actually agnostic now that I think about it. And then I learned some more. And then I learned, you know what? I don't really need a label because I still don't know what I am. I just know what I like. I know what I think is cool, and so far none of these things describe that. And I just kept learning and practicing and learning and practicing because I just love to learn. And I just kept coming back to the fact that nature made me happy and nature made sense. And being a good person made sense. Being happy made sense. That's what gave me a good life. I don't need to pray that I'm a good person. I just need to be a good person. And I don't need to pray that I get these good grades. I just need to study. And I don't need to go somewhere to prove that I'm a good person. I'll just be a good person and just allow it to happen. And again, I would keep educating myself, and I kept going back to nature, and I just started to end up learning that witchcraft and witches were a real thing, and they existed a lot, and they existed everywhere, and it was this mind-blowing, like, wait a minute. That stuff in that Hollywood talks about, I didn't know that that was actually like based on real things, because everybody sees it in the movies, and then I would tell them like, yeah, I'm a witch, and they would laugh at me, and you're not a witch, any witches aren't real. But they are real. And I can be magical. People tell me all the time that they think that I'm funny or they love my smile, and I think that's pretty magical, don't you? And it was just this, again, it was just this like mind opening and mind like, witches are real? There are these people all over the world that believe in just being a good person. Imagine that. Just being a good person and just wanting to do good for others and wanting to be in tune with nature and in tune with harmony, like on this peaceful level at all parts of you. That sounded great. And it was so intriguing to me, and I just kept learning more. And the first time I ever went to a New Age shop was one of the greatest days that I ever had, because it was this like, oh my God, it's Target for witches. Holy crap, dude. Holy crap. It was great. It was fascinating. And the first time I ever went to a New Age shop, I picked up this book, and it was called Teen Witch, and it's by an author, Silver Ravenwolf, and it's Wicca for a New Generation. But I really suggest this book to you guys. If you are interested in this and you don't know where to start, and I don't care how old you are. I don't want to see one person go, but Sarah, I'm not a teenager. I don't care. I was not a teenager when I bought this either. I just wanted to see what it was about. I just wanted to see. My mindset was like, well, if you have to go back to school, you have to start with the basics. And I don't know where to start. And if a teenager can start here, then I'll start there. And it's one of the best books that I've ever owned. And I'm actually not done with it to this day, because it takes me a long time. And I read the book and I write into my journal, which is technically my book of spells, but I usually will just refer to it as a journal. But this is my book of spells for all book of spells purposes. And we'll also get into that. But I read this book, I write in my book of spells, and I learn, and then I move on with my day. But I just want to read something to you guys, read something out of this to you guys. And it's the basic theology of Wicca. So when someone asks what is Wicca, you know, you could go on for hours and hours and hours, and the same could go for me and you guys. You guys have questions and I want to answer, and at the same time I could go for hours, but I want to give you some basic answers. So I love this, and that's why I want to tell you guys. But witchcraft is a nature-based, life-affirming religion that follows a moral code and seeks to build harmony among people and empower the self and others. I read that and I almost shit my pants. I had never found something so close to me that I had never been able to put it in a sentence like that, you know? I was really shocked that not only was this sentence something that is so me, but somebody else wrote this. And this book's been around for a long time, and over 200,000 copies have been sold. And that means that over 200,000 people have read that sentence. And that's really powerful, because it's, like I tell you guys a lot, it's hard. It's really hard in this world. And it's really hard when you feel alone. It's hard when you don't feel like you can connect to somebody. It's hard when you feel like everybody's got a place to go, and everybody's got a place to fit in, and everybody has something that means something to them, and you don't. And it's hard to feel like, what is your purpose? Why are you even here? Why do you bother? And nature and self-empowerment is still always some of the only things that keep me going. And to hear that, it was mind-blowing. If you think about it, the book says we could use that statement for almost any positive religion. And witches usually follow their own path, and they don't meander along with a crowd just because somebody says so. Witches practice individualism, freedom of thought, and they have a close connection with the world around them, including plants, animals, and people. We commune with streams, sky, fire, tree, animals, and rocks, much like the indigenous ancestors of America. We see everything on our planet as a manifestation of the divine. And that just meant so much to me, you know? It really did. To have these basic thoughts put together so beautifully, and to understand that not only am I not alone, and not only is this only the beginning of an entire world, but it's not the end, you know? It's not the end of anything. It's just the beginning, actually. And it's really nice to know that I belonged to something that I could actually say meant something to me. And that, I didn't mean to get so emotional on you guys, and I'm sorry, but I know you love me no matter what, so you'll accept it. But it's something that I want you guys to understand more of, because it's not properly displayed, and it's not properly portrayed, and it's not properly educated to the kids and the masses. And that's just something that we witches have to keep working on to show you guys and help educate the masses better. And that's why I'm going to start making more of these videos for you guys. But I will keep going through these rules with you guys, the basic principles. I shouldn't say rules, the basic principles and the basic just kind of like bullet points. But I can keep going on, and I was showing you guys my altar, so I want to keep showing you guys my altar, and then we'll see what we got left, and we'll see how much I can cram in one little video, and we'll keep going. I have my sage up here. I have different kinds of sage for different reasons, but sage is a wonderful thing to cleanse any space, any energy. You can cleanse your body, you can cleanse your crystals, you can cleanse your products, you can cleanse your house, you can cleanse your dog, you can cleanse your pissy husband. You can cleanse whatever you want. It's one of the greatest things. We can go more into that if you guys have questions. Little like Ouija tin that I have some crystals that a muffin has actually sent to me. Bruce, can you say hi to the people? My goodness. Those are from a muffin, so I keep those separate. I have some really super rad chakra stones that a muffin has also sent to me. And I have to learn a little bit more about our chakras before I start using these stones, because I'm not exactly sure on all of our different chakras. So I need to educate myself more on that one before I start using these. This is my little guy. He's from a museum, and we got to see the mummy exhibit. And I had to take home my little baboon because he was represented a few different times in the museum. And he just kept speaking to me for some reason. It was so weird. I just was like, babe, no, like, look how cool this baboon is. And he'd be like, look at this mummy. That's a baboon statue. Look at the mummy. And I'm like, but the baboon. And as we were in the gift shop, Christian's like, pick out something to bring home. And nothing really was speaking to me. And then I found like one baboon statue left, and he's like, the baboon, really? But it had a little bit of knowledge with it, and it said that these animals were closely associated with the god Thoth, the lord of knowledge. Thoth, I believe, was regarded as a lunar god, and the early morning cries of baboons were thought to be greetings from the god to the morning sun. And I am I'm a sucker for the sun and the moon and the stars. And any story that has to do with the sun or the moon or the stars makes me so, so happy. So as soon as I read that, I'm like, see, that's why I love the baboon, because it cries to the sun in the morning to say good morning. Like, leave me alone. I'm cheesy. What do you want from me? This little shelf, I've got my books. So I've got Energy Medicine for Women. This is a super rad book that my best friend has bought for me. And I also suggest this book for you guys. Aligning your body's energies to boost your health and vitality. It's super informative. There's stuff on like how to massage your body for all these different things that will help you. There's different breathing techniques for different like reasons. There's different like just all kinds of things that we women should be aware of in our body and how to just boost our bodies. So thank you, Michelle. I love you. And I suggest this for you ladies out there. I have the Hidden Meaning of Dreams. This is a really, really old book. This is, I'm sure it could be updated at this point, but it's informative enough and it's got most of the basics. So I really like this book. I just picked this up recently for me and Christian, and I haven't had a chance to really go through it enough, but I'm very glad that we finally have this in my collection, and it's a Crystal Gems and Metal Magic Encyclopedia. And there's a really rad insert of like pretty much all crystals with a picture, so nice. Very nice. And the last book that I have up here is a book called The Miracle of Water. I want you to go Amazon, Google, Barnes & Nobles, however you like to go get books. Please go find this book. Please purchase it now. And then go purchase a copy for your children. And then go purchase a copy for your spouse. And go purchase a copy for your best friend. It is by an author, Masaru Emoto. I hope I pronounced that right. This is amazing. This is one of the greatest books I've ever read in my entire life. We will go more into this book this week because this is a very serious thing. This doesn't go into witchcraft at all. This is life. Our words are so incredibly powerful. It's amazing sometimes how much we don't take that seriously enough. This guy put water into all these jars and he put words in front of them. And he let them crystallize into snowflakes, and he photographed the entire process. And it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. But I'll show you a few examples. This one is I can do it, and this one is I can't do it. So in front of the bottle that he put the words, I can do it. This is the crystal, the snowflake that formed. In front of the little jar that said, I can't do it. I can't do it. This is the snowflake that formed. And there was no differences to the environment. Every jar was in the same environment. It was just simply words on a piece of paper in front of these jars, and each jar felt those words, and it's fascinating, you guys. It's so fascinating. Like, come on. I mean, you wouldn't even think that that's possible, but it's possible. Your health comes from within you. Your health is affected by the words you are saying, the words that you're thinking in your mind, the word that you are putting out into the universe. If you want the water inside of you as vibrant as this crystal, then you tell yourself, I'm great. I feel great. I am great. I'm going to be great. I'm going to do great. I know, you guys, I know it's hard. I know that being exhausted is hard to not just simply, but I'm exhausted. I know. But you have to shift your thinking, and you have to know that you tried hard. You tried hard. Look at that. You tried hard. And this little guy, all he had was, it's hopeless. So this is one of my favorite books in the whole world. I really want you guys to go look at it. Please, please look it up. Please. This is my little Memer statue. Mike Wazowski got this Memer statue for me. Thank you, Mike Wazowski. I love you. And I want you to know that she is very happy at home on my altar. She was just super special. Jim Shore is like my favorite Disney artist that does statues. Ariel's like my favorite classic princess. And Mike Wazowski, you're one of my favorite people in the world. And you're my brother. And you're important to me, so this statue was important to me. So as soon as he gave it to me, I instantly knew, like, oh, she's gonna go on my altar at home. So she belongs. I have a little. This is from a muffin, sweet little muffin. Her name's Courtney. She made this for me. I think we're gonna sum that up. I think that's where we're gonna sum it up. I honestly. I really have more to tell you guys, like I said, and I didn't realize I would have so much to tell you guys. And if you have any more questions, please leave me a comment below. Let me know your questions so I can keep answering these for you guys, because I will babble on and on for days, and I kind of don't want to do that. So keep me, in a direction. If you did enjoy this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you feel like someone could benefit from this video, by all means share it with them. I hope you guys are having a great springtime. It's beautiful down here in Southern California right now. We're having some really nice weather. There's just baby duckies at Disneyland everywhere, and it's flowers everywhere, and it's fantastic, and everybody's allergies are acting up, and it's real springtime fun. And I am going to try to vlog a lot this week for you guys because I have a lot to say. And I missed you guys. And please don't ever forget that if nobody loves you, Romy loves you. Bye, guys.